Now, Coach ADDO says he won't resign. He said it, he won't resign. But after having seen the games, we had him in charge with the qualifiers for the AFCON. 6 matches, poor results, not a single win. We, in fact, drew only 3 and lost 3. So what it means is that we lost to each of our opponents. We lost 2 of them in Ghana. We lost to Angola in Ghana, in Kumasi. Lost to Niger in Ghana, in Accra. We lost to Sudan, not in Ghana, but away in Libya against Sudan. And then drew all the other fixtures. We drew against Niger in Morocco, against Angola in Luanda, and drew also against Sudan here in Accra. That's the mathematics and the stats. The little stats around our qualification series. And we scored 6 goals in the process, conceding 7 goals. Scoring 6, conceding 7. Poor by any measure. If you want to look at it, it's been that poor. So shockingly poor. And something must be done ASAP, that for sure. My question is it about the coach alone? Or he must go with somebody? We must go with others, not just about the coach. We've had so many coaches appointed in the recent times under the GFA, under Okraku, and they've all spent just a few months or years in charge. Results have almost always been poor, and they end up always being sacked. My question is, are we seeing any improvement when those coaches exit? We began with KWESI APPIAH in charge. KWESI was on for a while. When his tenure came to an end, we didn't renew the contract. He was booted out. He moved on. He's now with Sudan, and they've qualified for the AFCON against Ghana. After KWESI APPIAH was CK AKUNNOR, an ex-Black Stars player and captain, took over the coaching job with the national team, the Black Stars. After a few months, results were poor. He was sacrificed. He was sacked. He had to depart. CK AKUNNOR left. He's still unattached as a manager, not working for any football club or any team. After CK AKUNNOR, we brought on board Milovan Rajevac, the man that took us to the 2010 World Cup and Nations Cup in Angola, same year. We went to the finals in the Nations Cup with Milovan Rajevac. For the World Cup, almost made a semi-final appearance, but for Luis Suarez, we're knocked out. Milovan went around the globe. We brought him back. He came to Ghana, took us to the AFCON in Cameroon. You and I know the story. 3 games in the group, not a single win, against Morocco, against Gabon, and lost to Comoros. He was sacked. So he left. Well, he was sacked and he moved on. Then after Milovan Rajevac, we decided, let's go and bring this expatriate. Before the expatriate was brought on, we brought OTTO in for the World Cup qualifier against Nigeria. OTTO came in together with Chris HUGHTON, who was then, alongside the others like Masud Dramani, Boateng, George. They worked and got Ghana to qualify for the World Cup against Nigeria. 2 games. We drew here in Ghana, 0-0. Went to Abuja and we drew 1-1, Partey getting the goal for Ghana. We qualified for the World Cup with ADDO in charge. He left, but we said, oh no, let him go to the World Cup with the team. So OTTO went to Qatar with the Black Stars. After the World Cup, he left. At the World Cup, you know the story. 3 games, we won against Korea, but lost to Portugal, lost to Uruguay. We were knocked out after the first round. OTTO left. And then we now maintained or appointed permanently Chris HUGHTON. So check the number of coaches we have had. HUGHTON came in as well as the main coach. The team was still struggling, even in qualifiers. The football wasn't pleasing. It wasn't nice. Complaints were all over the place. We qualified, though, for the AFCON last year in Côte d'Ivoire. We went to the Nations Cup. Again, group matches, 3. Cape Verde, we lost. Egypt, we drew. Mozambique, we drew. Not enough. Knocked out in the group stage. Chris HUGHTON stayed on for like 2 or 3 months. After that, he had to do a few qualifiers. When the contract came to an end this year, somewhere in February, it wasn't renewed. He left. He had to leave because he was virtually sacked, if you like. We brought back ADDO because we had seen, according to the officials, some potentials in him when he was in charge of our team for the pre-World Cup and the World Cup. OTTO comes back to the Black Stars team. He joins us in, April, May, thereabout, or March, April, I should say. He begins with some friendly games for Ghana in Morocco against Nigeria and against Uganda. Results, you know what happened to those games. They were friendly games. He said they were friendly games. Then in June, qualifiers for the World Cup resumes. Don't forget that Chris Hughton has played a qualifying game for Ghana at the World Cup. The qualifiers, he began with Chris Hughton. We went out there to Comoros. They beat us. So OTTO comes for the qualifiers in June. Fortunately for OTTO, he begins the qualifiers for the World Cup with 2 wins. He beats Mali in Bamako, 2-1. Then beats CAR here in Kumasi by 4-3 margin. Jordan gets a hat-trick in that game, remember, in Kumasi. Wonderful start for OTTO. Then in September, qualifiers for the AFCON begins and disaster starts. Ghana's first game against Angola, we lose. Then we draw against Niger. October comes. We further lose our games. We draw against Sudan, lose away to Sudan. Then November, quarter November, now it's done. 6 matches done in the qualifiers, 3 points, we're out. Question is, we've had these number of coaches. KWESI APPIAH, CK AKUNNOR, Milovan Rajavach, OTTO 1, Chris Hughton, OTTO 2. 6 coaches. Or if you like, 5 coaches though, but 6 different times, appointments. In the last 5 years, under Okraku and the GFA, Black Stars, one thing for sure, consistently declining with performance, not improving. But we've sacked coaches after coaches. So the question is, what is the problem then? Is it about the coaches? But anyway, let me ask